all things Mavs.
Mavs fans, the green uniforms are back next season. It is official. In 2021, the Mavs will have some green mixed into those jerseys that they have. Now, remember, they wore these jerseys back in the 80s. It was like the original retro style that they went with, and they also wore them in 2015, and the Mavs social media hinted at the idea that the green is going to return, but now it's official because these jerseys are on sale in multiple stores and on multiple websites as well. I've seen Porzingis, Luka Doncic, and more players that are currently on the Mavs already listed and available to buy. Now, if you don't know what they look like, we got them right here for you on screen. The beautiful Kristaps Porzingis. I love everything about this jersey. It's green. It's retro. I love the Dallas font that goes across. It feels kind of westerny and kind of representative, whatever that word is, of Dallas. And I think it's really going to look really nice on court with Luka Doncic and Porzingis repping them next season. I always wear them in 2K, so now we'll make it a real-life thing. So the green's back, and I love those jerseys. But I want to ask y'all, what are your favorite Mavs jerseys of all time? Maybe you're a fan of like the blue Diddy jerseys. I like the green Diddy jerseys as well. I love the retro style they're bringing in next season. Look, the Skyline that they had a couple of years ago was such a nice jersey. I wish they'd bring those back. I think we can all agree it ain't the trash bag jerseys from the early 2000s. I know that much. But whatever your favorite Mavs jersey is of all time, put it in the comment section. But also, go pick it up at Fanatics, because right now at Fanatics, chatsports.com/Mavs jersey, you can get these jerseys shipped to you for free. They're authentic Nike jerseys, high quality stuff. Now, these ones are going to be available for just a limited time only because they're kicking out those City Edition jerseys next season. Now, if you want Luka Doncic, you can always get that. If you want to rep the absolute GOAT, Dirk Nowitzki, definitely do that. Chatsports.com/Mavs jersey is the best place to go and the only place you're going to be able to go to get these shipped to you for free. So go pick them up today with our friends over at Fanatics. Now, enough uniform talk. I know what you guys really came here for. It's the player news and rumors. So we're going to start off with some draft information for you guys. This one about Tyrell Terry out of Stanford. I talked to you guys earlier in the week about this kid, and now Keith Pompey, who is a guy that is really in tune with the Philadelphia 76ers, was interviewing Tyrell Terry, and he reports that Dallas is one of 3 teams already interested in the point guard out of Stanford. Now, one of the most interesting things is how this kid has already grown this offseason. I'll talk more about that here in just a minute. But, look, if you're looking for offense and you're looking for a scoring punch off the bench, that's what Tyrell Terry does. At Stanford in his freshman year, he only played 1 year there. He shot the ball 40.8% from beyond the three-point arc, and he has such a high basketball IQ as well because he went to Stanford. So if you went to Stanford, you're probably pretty smart. That's all I know. Now, Keith Pompey, this is what he said exactly in his report. He said the Boston Celtics, who have the 14th, 26th, and 30th picks, the Dallas Mavericks, who are at 18, and the Milwaukee Bucks at 24, are reportedly interested in the Minneapolis native. Terry, who described himself as a pretty cerebral person, wants teams to know that he has the makeup to contribute right away. Now, the thing that's most interesting about this is that the Boston Celtics have that 14th pick, the 26th pick, and the 30th pick. So they could take him anywhere from 14 to 30, but Mavs at 18 might have the best chance to draft him. So at 18, who do you want the Dallas Mavericks to draft? Let me know in the comment section. You guys can decide. Maybe it is Tyrell Terry, who has added 20 pounds since the offseason and grown 2 inches, or maybe you want a big man, or maybe you want a wing. Let me know who it is in the comment section below. Now let's go to Victor Oladipo, and we talked about him pretty recently on the show as well. I did a whole video on how the Mavs could trade for Oladipo, but now Scoop B. Robinson's reporting that the Mavs have legitimate interest in the former All-Star. Now, we all know he wants out of Indiana, and that shouldn't be surprising based on the way they're trending right now. But also, talk about trends, Victor Oladipo is kind of on the downward slope, so it might be easier to acquire him from the Indiana Pacers. Now, back in 2017, 2018, and 2018, 2019, he was an All-Star 2 years in a row. Of course, he got injured in 2019, which caused him to miss most of this past season. But when he's fully healthy and when he's playing well, he's an elite athlete. He's a really good defender, and he's become a solid three-point shooter as well. If I'm the Mavs, this is the trade idea I've come up with. This is, number one, the most that I'm comfortable offering for Victor Oladipo, and number two, a deal that could actually get it done. Oladipo goes to Dallas. He becomes that third piece next to Luka Doncic and next to Kristaps Porzingis. The Mavs, give up Justin Jackson, DeLon Wright, who really don't fit on this team anyway, Tim Hardaway Jr., and then their 2 draft picks for this year. I'm comfortable with that, and I think it gets the Indiana Pacers at least thinking about accepting this if Oladipo does want out. Now, the Mavs aren't the only interested team. There are multiple teams like the Miami Heat, but now that they're in the finals, they might not try to make a move. The Brooklyn Nets want to add a 3rd player next to KD and Kyrie Irving, and Oladipo could be that guy. The New York Knicks because, of course. The Denver Nuggets because they have the right trade pieces to get a guy like him. And then the Dallas Mavericks are on that list as well. So you saw my trade idea. Justin Jackson, DeLon Wright, the 2 draft picks from this year, and Tim Hardaway Jr. But give me your best trade idea in the comment section below. I'll take a look at it. I'll tell you whether it gets it done or it doesn't. And if you have a really great idea that you definitely want me to see, DM me on Twitter at all_things_Mavs and just let me know what that trade idea is. Now let's talk about Luka Doncic, the man, the myth, the legend that is the Mavs' future. He reportedly had the 2nd best selling jersey since the NBA restart, right behind LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers and right above Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. Another interesting note that I had to include on today's show is that he has added the 4th most followers on social media since the NBA restart. Now, number 1, this is crazy to me, was LeBron James, who I would have thought already anybody who's anybody is already following, but he added 4.1 million followers since the restart. The next highest was Tyler Hero at 792,000. Now, Luka was down there 4th, 694,000, and then Jamal Murray was way behind him, and then the one after that was like way back. So, look, Luka's continuing to grow in popularity. He is continuing to just rise in NBA stardom. His jersey's selling well. People are following him on social media, and thanks to Luka, we're also getting some new subscribers here on All Things Mavs. And since the NBA bubble restart, I did my math. I went and did all the stats as well. We have added 3,527 subscribers. You guys are awesome, and if you want to join the best Mavs community in all of YouTube land, all you got to do is scroll down and hit that subscribe button. We'll put the link in the comment section as well. Let's talk about a DFW native RJ Hampton. He recently spoke to reporters about his draft setup and where he stands in the draft right now, and he's talked really highly about his hometown team, the Dallas Mavericks. This is what he said exactly to the Dallas Morning News. He said, when asked, how about playing for the Mavs? He said, that would be super sick, as a classic 19-year-old would say. He says, the Mavs are kind of a hometown team. I've definitely kept up with the Mavs since I was a baby, and I think that's really cool. When you get to look at guys that are coming straight out of Dallas and out of the DFW area, they are able to potentially be drafted by their team. I think it would be a lot of fun. Now, the thing with RJ Hampton, I do want to get into a little bit of analysis here, is he's a very 50-50 pick. And here's what I think. Number 1, he could be a Michael Porter Jr. type, where you take him despite all the risks because he's available at 18. But he could also be a guy that's out of the NBA by the end of his rookie contract. That's just the unfortunate truth. Now, I hope it's the former and not the latter, but we'll just have to see. And if he's available at 18, would you want the Mavs to draft RJ Hampton? Y for yes, in for no. I mean, it depends on who else falls, but that being said, if he's there at 18, I think the Mavs got to take a chance on him. They can make a home run hit, and if they miss on the draft, that's okay. They don't need to hit really well on this draft. Now, in the NBL, he kind of struggled a lot this past year. 9 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He was very underwhelming on the defensive end. His jump shot didn't look good, but his senior year of high school, he put up 32 points per game, pulled down 10 boards, dished out 6 assists, and pulled out 3.5 steals per game as well. Now, RJ Hampton is not the only DFW native in this draft to keep an eye on. Tyrese Maxey could reportedly fall to 18. If he's at 18, you take him without batting an eye. Jamias Ramsey out of Summit High School, also potentially available at 18. I think I'd take Hampton above Ramsey and then Maxey above Hampton and Ramsey, but it's going to be fun to keep track of these DFW natives. Now, final story today, I want to leave you with a bit of a feel-good thing as we get out of here on All Things Mavs. Former Dallas Maverick Delonte West has struggled with addiction and with a lot of mental issues as well, and he was spotted on the side of the road in Dallas, but Mark Cuban, being the great guy that he is, went and picked him up and is looking to help him get his life back on track. Here's what ESPN had to say. He said, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban picked up Delonte West at a Dallas gas station on Monday and is attempting to help the homeless former NBA player get his life back on track. West's family and friends have been trying to get West to go to a drug rehab facility, and Cuban has offered to pay for his treatment. So no real news, or no real rumor here, just about the news of Mark Cuban being such an amazing NBA owner. I do want to give a round of applause to Delonte West and his family for going and getting the help that he so desperately needs. So what you guys can do, put the clapping emojis down in the comment section, both for Delonte West and for the awesome owner that we have, that is Mark Cuban.